Hey everyone, my name is Nishan Gupta and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a while since I've posted a video, and that's because I'm taking my own sweet time settling in IIM Shillong. But as you can see around, I have finally settled and I want to make videos telling you about life at IIM Shillong and my experiences in the past 3 weeks. But the topic that I'm talking about today is extremely important. Most of my subscribers are people who are still preparing for CAT, and we are in mid-July. It's time we start focusing on mocks, and this is why I'm bringing the topic to you, how to prepare for mocks and analyze them. If you're done with 3/4 of your preparation, you're in the best place possible right now. But don't worry if you're not done with your preparation yet. You still have a window of about 1 month, like mid-August to the end of August, where you can still buckle up and try to prepare as much as possible. Look at the video I've linked over here or here. I'm not really sure which corner of the screen, but look at that video. I've detailed out exactly how you approach the preparation phase of your CAT preparation. But if you're done with 3/4 of your preparation, this is about the right time to start with mocks. You have a total of 120 days from August 1st till the CAT examination. This is a lot of time to refine every single thing you've learned in the past few months. Within these 120 days, we are going to try to maximize the number of mocks that we're going to take. An ideal number of mocks is between 30 to 50, but the more mocks you do, the better it is. As they say, the more you sweat during practice, the less you bleed during war. So let's talk about how exactly you're going to spend these 120 days in front of you. So the first thing I'm going to tell you to do is to cover up that 1/4 syllabus that you have pending right now. For most of all, it would be number system or probability MPNC or bits and pieces of arithmetic, algebra, geometry, whatever it is. You're not going to enter the CAT examination with a certain percentage of your syllabus left unstudied. You're going to study everything. CAT is unpredictable. You better be at your best on that day. So that 1/4 syllabus that you have left, you better complete it as soon as possible. The next thing I'm going to suggest to you is timed practice. Every single question you attempt in the next 120 days should be with a timer on, whether it's a question on quant, whether it's a RC passage, whether it's a set in DILR, no matter what it is, you should have a timer on. It is time that you kind of get used to having a timer ticking right in front of your face, because in the end, CAT is a timed examination, and the more comfortable you get with a timer, the better your chances of actually cracking the examination. So make it a point, no matter what question you're solving, henceforth, it should be with a timer on. Now, practice in these 120 days is going to be divided into 3 aspects. The first one is going to be old mocks. The second one is going to be sectionals. And the third one is going to be the mocks that you're actually going to take for this CAT examination. So let's talk about old mocks. So for those of you who do not know, I'm on Telegram. Here is my Telegram ID on the screen down below. And you can hit me up on Telegram and ask for old mocks. I'll try to arrange 2019 and 2020 old mocks, or as many as I can. And these are going to serve as the best practice material for the next 120 days. So these are mocks from those previous years. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take that one particular PDF from that particular mock, and you're only going to take one section, say VARC, DILR or quant. You're going to put a timer of 40 minutes and you're going to solve that section in 40 minutes. Then you're going to spend time analyzing the mock. So basically you're going to treat each section in a mock as a particular sectional. Which brings me to the second point, how you're going to approach sectionals. No matter which institute's mocks you take, you're going to be getting 2 things. You're going to get sectionals and you're going to get actual mock papers. Now, before you start actual mock papers, I want you to solve 10 sectionals from each section. That is 10 sections of VRC, 10 sections of DILR and 10 sections of quant. Now this is going to get you comfortable with the paper pattern. This is going to get you comfortable with the timer in front of you. And this is going to get you comfortable with strategies. So this is the time when you actually formulate strategies, where you try various strategies and you try to come up with a strategy that works for you. So now you have sectional which you get from the institute mocks that you have bought, and you have old mocks which I can provide for you guys. And this is going to be the basis of your preparation. You can do old mocks until you don't run out of them, but you have a limited number of sectionals. They're going to be in a time manner and they're going to be in the setting that the actual CAT examination is. So what I would suggest is to do a couple of old mocks and then do a few sectionals and then get back to old mocks and sectionals and get comfortable with doing each and every section individually. So once you're done with sectionals, that is 10 sectionals of VARC, 10 sections of DILR, 10 sections of quants, now it's time to actually get into the mocks, the actual 2-hour paper with all 3 sections together. Now the ideal scenario to attempt a mock is within that window when you have an actual CAT examination, but you'll actually get to know your exact slot when you get the admit card from CAT. So until then, try to finish a mock at a time when you're most alert, because you've been preparing for months and now is the time when you actually test every single thing that you've learned. So you better be at your best in every single mock. Do not take a single mock lightly. So this is how mocks are designed. For simplification purposes, imagine that there are 10 concepts in geometry, 10 concepts in algebra, and 10 concepts in arithmetic, and that is your entire quant portion. So these 30 concepts have to be mixed and matched in your mocks. So say you take a mock pack of 30 mocks. So these 30 concepts are spread across these 30 mocks, and each mock will test one of these concepts, 2 of these concepts, few of these concepts. So your goal is to try to finish all the mocks in that particular pack. Once you have completed a particular mock, now the real game begins. Because if you've heard from anybody, every single person says that the amount of time you spend on a mock, you should spend double the amount of time on analysis. Analysis is the only way you can improve your CAT score. So how exactly do you analyze your mocks? Firstly, you need to understand that CAT is an examination where you pick and choose the easy and medium questions and you completely leave the difficult questions. So when you're starting your analysis, what I want you to do is take a piece of paper and write down all the questions in a particular section. Say question 1, question 2, question 3, up till question 26, 27, whatever it is. Now you're going to solve each and every question, regardless of whether it was easy, whether you solved it, whether you got it right or wrong, or whether you left it in the examination. And the whole motive of this is for you to determine whether this was a question you should have picked and attempted in the actual paper, or whether this was a question you should have completely left. Once you start doing this with an old mock, with a sectional or a proper mock examination, you will have an intuitive feeling of whether you should pick a particular question or whether you should leave this particular question. And this intuition is what you need to develop. And this is where the analysis begins. Now, the second part of your analysis is noting down your mistakes or new concepts. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a new book, which is going to be called a mistake book. For me, it was an entire Notion page. Now, what's the purpose of this mistake book is that every single question you got wrong, or every single time you come across a new concept or a new type of question which was something you've never studied before, you're going to note them down. So every mistake and every new concept is going to be noted down in this new book. And this book, along with the formula book that I was talking about, or the concept book I was talking about in the previous video, is going to be your go-to books when you're going to revise right before CAT examination. If you guys want to see how I use Notion to actually prepare for the entire CAT examination, then please go down in the comment section and type "we want a Notion video." And if I see a lot of comments saying "we want a Notion video," I'll exactly tell you how I use Notion to boost my CAT preparation. And I think that's going to be really valuable for you guys. So if you want that video, go down right now and comment down below. Apart from this, what I want you to do is to create a separate Excel sheet or a particular notebook where you're going to make rows and columns, which is going to really help you understand your strengths and weaknesses in quants and DILR. So quants is divided into 5 topics, okay? Algebra, arithmetic, geometry, number system, PNC and probability. And DILR is divided into 2, that is DI and LR, okay? And so you're going to have 7 separate columns, okay? That's going to be algebra, geometry, arithmetic, number system, PNC probability, DI and LR. And each row is going to be mock 1, mock 2, mock 3, mock 4, mock 5, so on and so forth. And in each cell, what you're going to do is you're going to write the number of questions you got correct in that particular section. See, so for example, out of 10 questions in geometry, you got only 8 questions correct. Then you're going to write 8 out of 10, and say out of 5 questions in arithmetic, you got 2 questions correct. So you're going to write 2 out of 5. You're going to fill up after every single mock which particular section you were getting correct answers and which particular sections you were leaving, so on and so forth. The purpose of this entire exercise is that after 5 to 10 mocks, once you have got a decent number of mocks, you can actually look back and understand which are your strengths and which are your weaknesses. So on a consistent basis, your arithmetic, you're doing about 80 to 90% of the questions correctly. You know that this is a strength. And on the other hand, in PNC and probability, you can barely do a single question correctly, or you can do one or two on an occasional basis. Then you know that this particular section requires a lot of hard work. So as and when you start building up this sheet, your approach becomes more and more strong, and you know that between two mocks, you can work on your weaknesses and you can just revise on your strengths. So the time you're spending between two mocks is actually very focused on your weaknesses. The same goes for DI and LR. You will understand whether DI is your strength or whether LR is your strength and which questions are you getting correctly. And so you can accordingly change your strategies. Say for example, if DI is your strength, then you will do DI first, and if LR is your strength, then you'll do LR first, so on and so forth. With that, let's just get talking about strategies. Now, the whole purpose of taking mocks is to develop strategies. There's no particular strategy, no particular one size fits all. You're gonna go searching for various strategies online and you're gonna get a lot of them. Now it's up to you to decide which strategy works for you or not, and that's where sectionals, old mocks and actual mock papers help you determine that. There's gonna come a time in your preparation where you'll get comfortable with a strategy that is giving you consistent results. Now the goal of this entire 120 days is to find that one strategy for VRC, one strategy for DILR and one strategy for quant. Okay, that will give you consistent results in each and every mock, because you need to understand that when you're sitting for that paper in the CAT examination, okay, when it is the day, okay, it's either going to be the best performance you've ever had or it's going to be the average of all your mocks, because what you have practiced in those 30 to 50 mocks is what's going to come naturally to you. The strategies that you've used in those 30 to 50 mocks, the strategies that you've developed, the strategies that are at the back of your hand is exactly how you're going to attempt the CAT examination. So your goal is to refine strategy after each and every mock. Your goal is to try to understand what went wrong in that VRC section, what went wrong in the DILR section, and how can I change my strategy. Should I do verbal, then do RCs? Should I do RCs and then do verbal? Or should I do one RC, a few verbal, another RC, a few more verbal, so on and so forth? Or are you the kind of person who's going to do all the RCs and completely neglect verbal? Are you able to take that risk? How are you going to attempt quants? Are you able to recognize the easy questions or the difficult questions? Are you able to leave the questions? Is geometry a difficulty? Is arithmetic an easy thing? Can you spot these questions? Same for DLR. Do you have an intuitive understanding of which sets are easy, which sets are difficult? Or are you wasting a lot of time on sets which just could not be solved, and thereby you completely screwed up your DILR section? So these are the strategies that you are supposed to work on, and each and every mock is a new learning for you. There's one last thing that I want to tell you. Do not take your mock percentile seriously. Your mock percentile is going to fluctuate a lot. You're going to get a 91, a 95, a 97, a 98, and you're going to get a 30, 20, 40, 50. I've been there. Every single CAT aspirant has been there. It's going to pull you down. It's going to make you feel miserable. If you see a horrible percentile, it's going to be a bad day. If you see a great percentile, say 95 plus, 98, 99, it's going to be the best day, and you're going to feel like you're going to crack CAT. Okay, both of them are going to pass. Okay, you need to focus on your analysis and not take that CAT percentile seriously. The more you try to develop your strategy, the more you try to develop your game plan, the better are your chances at getting a great percentile in CAT. The more you try to focus and let your mood swing based on the percentile you got, you're getting your focus diverted from what's actually important to what's completely irrelevant. Your percentile is going to fluctuate a lot. Let it fluctuate. That's just what happens with every single CAT aspirant. What mocks are you supposed to take? I'm not really going to tell you whose mocks you're supposed to take and whose mocks you're not supposed to take, which institutes mocks are better, which institutes mocks are not. The key is not to get the right institute's mocks. The key is to get an institute's mock and solve it to completion. You're going to take one institute's mock and you're going to completely solve them. Do not take 2-3 institute's mocks and do them half-heartedly. Like, 10 mocks from here, 3 mocks from here, 5 mocks from there. That's not how it's supposed to be. Take one, do all sectionals, do all mocks, completely cover every single type of test that exists in that particular mock, and you're good to go. And that's all I have for you guys on how to prepare for mocks and how to analyze them. You have my Telegram ID down below, you have the comment section down below, and if you have any queries, if you want to reach out, feel free to reach out, feel free to comment down below. I'll try my best to answer each and every message and try to answer each and every comment. You have 120 days ahead of you, and these 120 days can really make your career. Give your freaking best. Leave no stone unturned. Try to give all you have, everything, towards these mocks, and trust me, you will get the results. Do not focus on the results. Try to focus on the amount of effort you can put, the amount of effort you're putting in analyzing, the amount of efforts you're putting in revising, the amount of efforts you're putting towards mocks, sectionals. That's all that matters. Trust me, trust the process, and you're gonna get the results. All the best.